Thank you for joining in, and for today's video, this is going to be a little bit different. I realized that my art supplies and stuff kind of got out of control. As you can see here, I have so much stuff all over the place. So I was in the beginning of cleaning, and then I thought, well, maybe I'll just make an organizing my art supplies and see what I come up with here. I honestly don't even know. Some of this stuff in here is either it needs to go in the trash or I don't even know what it is. So like I said, today is going to be an organizational video. And I'm going to go through each drawer. I have about 3 drawers. This is just an old dresser that I have here in my art room. And again, I'm going to try to at least get like all my watercolor stuff together and separate it from the gouache and other painting supplies. And yeah, so just take it step by step here. I think the first thing I'm going to do is take out everything and just put it on the floor, and then we'll go from there, because I think the insides may even have to be cleaned too. Now that I have everything out on the floor here, and you can see my big disaster, I'm going to start to section it and break it up into the different categories that I mentioned before, like watercolor, gouache, acrylic. I don't really have that many craft things because I don't really do that, so I shouldn't have too many categories here. And whatever is just like complete garbage, I'm going to throw out. And if I know that I don't use something, I'm just gonna like pass it on to somebody else, or I have a little nephew that I know that would love some art supplies. Okay, and it may not look like much, but my room is really small here, so I don't have a lot of space. But I did break up the piles. Over here, that's all acrylic, and then some gouache up top here. And then this one's watercolor. This is some like random storage. And then this over here on the right, this is all junk that's either going or it just doesn't belong in my art room. I am making a little bit of progress. Over here, I did put, I already had this old container, and I put some of my watercolor palettes, and I have a bunch of these like empty tins I put in here too, because I do have some more like single pans that I purchased from White Nights coming, so I'm just going to put them in there because I wanted to, I thought about buying one of their actual sets, but I really wanted specific colors, so again, I'm just going to put them in there. And again, all my watercolor stuff is in there. And then I have like a bunch of swatches here and like extra scrap paper. And that's just an old Ulta card, so I can separate the watercolor paper. And then this is a watercolor dish. And then over here I have my gouache that I'm just going to try to separate these colors into these little cups right here. Okay, and that looks a lot better. In the top drawer here, I did combine, because I really don't have that much gouache, so in these little red cups here, I have everything labeled. I have 3 of them, and those are all my tubes of gouache. And right here, I have everything all together, like my swatches and stuff. Inside that Schmincke one, just some tape. And then 2 more gouache palettes here, and this is just some extra stuff here up in the corner. Some like empty tins for watercolor, and just some, this is like a magic eraser, just some small things there. And then I have 2 different dishes down here for watercolor, and that's about it for that drawer. And up top in that separate container, this right here is all like my actual, like my watercolor palettes that I use all the time. This one right here is my Good Schminke one. I have like 2 from Art Philosophy, Amazon, Winsor Newton. And again, those I'll be using for something else. And I'm just gonna slip it on a shelf on my desk here because I use my watercolor supplies the most. And for the second drawer right here, I did use my containers that I already had, and these are just some paint pens that I just bought, or paint markers here. Kind of like a generic Posca pen. So there's those, and like little teeny tiny tubes of paint. Those, and then some craft paint, and this is actually for leather. That was something else that I had to fix. And then these are all acrylics, which I don't have that many. I think there's about 6 or 7 tubes there. That's not that bad. And just some like sponges and the little tiny trays. And then this is just a glass medium. Yeah, a gel. And just some sticks. So I got rid of quite a bit from there too. And it's definitely more organized. And this third drawer here is pretty much empty. There's really not that much in here. There's some random stuff in this little container here. These 2 are empty. This is just some shells for like summertime. And then I just have some twinkle lights here, and then this is empty. And that's it for that one. And for the other long drawer, I just have, this is a small art journal, some of the Paul Rubens paper. This is a small 5x7, so it fits nice in here. This is some premium watercolor paper, the Art Philosophy. This is some, sometimes I use both sides. That fits in here pretty nice. My watercolor pencils, and then this is a bigger watercolor pad that, what is it, the Fabriano, so watercolor paper, and then that's it for that. And I also have in here that I forgot was my Kahiti journal that's almost full. And for the last drawer here, I decided when I was going through more things to change it up a bit. I thought that there was like too much space wasted, so I just have a couple of notebooks, like drawing notebooks on the bottom there, an old watercolor palette. These are actually on the side pencil, a pencil sharpener. It's what are they called? Oh, a trolley from San Francisco. Thing. And there's the little hole. And let's see, just a little container here, and then that's just some little little things there, and the little tiny canvases and the little easel. So that's about it for that one.